Hey y'all, what's up? Yeah, so sitting here looking at boxing news, and I seen this article on Fight Hype. Miguel Cotto and his people. Uh, what's that dude's name? The guy who's in charge of uh Cotto Promotions. You know, they interviewed him on their Fight Hype, and dude saying like many before Cotto that they got the blueprint on how to beat Mayweather. You know, Ortiz said that. Look what happened to him. You know, Mosley was saying that a little bit, not too much. They're coming out and saying, they actually got a blueprint, but Azim Richardson was saying that, they got that chance early on in the fight, you know. But then he also said that Shane was gonna hit Floyd, and then Floyd was gonna grow wings and, turn into a dragon. And that would be it for Mosley. They had, numerous Floyd's opponents who say, oh, we got the blueprint on how to fight Mayweather. We got the plan on how to beat him. We got what's gonna work. We got flaws that we can expose him. And I'm just like, do they really? Because, you look at it like this. Yes, Floyd is a counterpuncher, but he can also be offensive too. But now I wouldn't really say that, counterpunching is necessarily his style, It's just something he utilizes in his style. Like, if you happen to be cooking food and, you could look at counterpunching as, some chicken. Or, and I'm explaining it like this for people who's kind of stupid. Because I know there's a lot of y'all out there. You look at counterpunching as chicken. Then you look at his actual style as, the style meal that would fall under, like if it was Italian or if it was like Chinese or Mexican or something. And, I say that because, if you pay attention to the way Floyd fights, you'll say that his style is actually adjustment. It falls more closely with adjustment than counterpunching. Because one thing that he's continuously doing in his fights is he adjusts. And he utilizes counterpunching while doing that. And the thing is, now how do you create a plan to fight somebody who fights based on how his opponent fights? Like, how can you do that? Because they go in looking at what Floyd did against other people and thinking they have it figured out. Well, Cotto doesn't fight like those other people. So Floyd's going to be fighting different against him and employing different tactics. So, how then are they going to say they got a blueprint for him? And that's why Floyd's style is, basically like cooking. I mean, if you got somebody who, allergic to, peanuts, you're going to cook some food, and you ain't going to put no peanuts in it. Or if you got somebody who's like lactose intolerant, they're allergic to dairy products, to make sure you ain't using no dairy products in your food, and then, give it to them like that. And that's the thing, each opponent Floyd has had, has brought something different to the table. It had different traits, characteristics, different abilities, different everything in the ring. And, he has to, basically cook up his style and, tailor it to what they bring in towards him. And it's going to be the same thing with Miguel Cotto. Cotto going to come up in there, different from, anyone else that Floyd's fought, with a different style. So, how they're talking, I remember Freddie Roach a few months ago was talking about they had a real good sparring partner, to that mimics Mayweather's style. I'm like, okay, who is this guy that say mimics his style? 'Cause I ain't seen a boxer yet, around the division of today, you know, um, contemporary here today that got Floyd's boxing IQ. You know, I'm waiting to see who that is. Like who else in the ring is as smart as Mayweather is and can adjust and adapt as quickly as he does. Now there's many fighters out there, but only a few of them is able to make adjustments like that. Other fighters, they go in with, plan A. And, a lot of them might got a plan B too. But, there's not many fighters who got plans that extend farther than that, There's not a fighter who got like a plan A, B, C, and D, and they're all the way through Z. That's able to continuously adapt no matter what his opponent is bringing towards him. I ain't seen another boxer, lately who've been able to do that. Mostly they just got that one game plan, and that's it. If it don't work, then they screwed. Like Amir Khan and Manny Pacquiao, who trained by, the supposedly greatest trainer of this decade, Freddie Roach, who's a one-dimensional trainer. Now you look at their fights. What do Khan and Pacquiao do? They're trained, in offense. They're trained in speed and footwork. Get in, throw a flurry, and get out. Whenever the opponent's within range, throw a flurry and get back. Outwork the opponent. Neither one of them could fight going backwards. Neither one of them got defense, And if they're up against an opponent who, can put pressure on them or isn't letting themselves to get set up to get hit by that flurry like that, then, their game plan basically go to shit. Cause look what happened to Khan against Peterson. Peterson kept coming forward, kept pounding his body and, getting him up against the rope and everything. Khan, he resorted to what I call his King Khan shove. That dude pushed Peterson, so many times in that fight. Because what he was trying to do, get in, throw those flurries and try to get away, it wasn't working. Peterson was coming forwards and was banging his body, And that just threw Khan's whole game plan out the window because he couldn't dance away like he wanted to in that fight. Peterson kept getting right up in his face. And, it was the same thing with Pacquiao versus Marquez in that third fight. But Marquez is a counterpuncher. And, Pacquiao, like I said a whole bunch of times, if a person isn't trading shots with Pacquiao and is able to move away, not only, moving their head and stuff, but like actually use their legs even a little bit, to get away from him, Pacquiao will not look as good as he normally does. And this has been showing. It has been showing since his fight with Margarito. I said it before in one of my videos that who was the last person since, Pacquiao's second fight with Marquez he fought that, wasn't standing there trying to trade shots with him. He had David Diaz. He had Oscar De La Hoya. He had Hatton, Clottey, Margarito, Mosley. Mosley was the first person since then, almost 3 years that wasn't standing in front of Pacquiao to trade shots. And what happened? Pacquiao did not look as good as he normally did. He wasn't able to get up in there and throw all those, dazzling combinations that they always be talking about he had, like he could against Margarito, who's slow as hell, and just a slow bump. He wasn't able to do that like he did against Margarito, who just slow. And then they came up with the excuse that he had a leg cramp. And I'm like, yeah, leg cramp my ass. He the number one fighter in the world. He's supposed to be so great. He couldn't fight because of a leg cramp. Mayweather fought and beat people when he had like a messed up rotator cuff, messed up ribs. He fought Carlos Hernandez, messed up both his hands in that fight and still won. You know, you need your hands to fight in boxing. This dude won with no hands. Pacquiao can't win because of a leg cramp against an old man. An old man, they said, was too old for somebody that he's better than. But that's the thing. Pacquiao's style falls apart when he can't follow his game plan. Same thing with Khan, and that's what I try to tell people, but ain't nobody wanna listen. And if Cotto goes in there thinking that he's gonna fight Floyd based on something he saw in some tape when Floyd was fighting somebody else, he's gonna lose. Embarrassingly. He's just gonna get obliterated. And it's not gonna be pretty for him. But, that's something for y'all to think about. How do you prepare, and how can you say that you got a blueprint to fight somebody who, is going to fight based on what you are going to do come fight time? You know what you're going to do come fight time. Thing is, you don't know what he's going to do to adjust and adapt to that and counter it. I mean, if he could see the future, maybe he might actually have the blueprint. I don't know. Like those supposed stories about the government doing experiments, for psychic soldiers. That's like that movie, The Man Who, what was it, Stare at Goats? Unless it's something like that, Cotto ain't got no game plan. And he finna get finished if he thinks that he's gonna go up in there with that whatever game plan he came up with in training camp and think that if he sticks to that it's gonna work. If he thinks that, that's gonna be a long, sad night for him. Very long, very sad night for him. So, that's something, like I said, think about. Is Cotto really prepared to fight Mayweather? Or, is he just talking like Mayweather's other opponents who said they had a blueprint, but come fight time, it turned out that, they ain't had nothing. And then it turned into another fight where people said, oh, Floyd just embarrassed this guy. It wasn't really a good opponent anyway. He was cherry picking. And, in 154, according to the ring, which everybody hails as, valid for rankings and stuff, Cotto, yeah, he's 17 and, top pound for pound or whatever. But, they have him at the top of the 154 pound division. So, yeah, if you're gonna complain, complain to the ring about why they got a guy who everyone say is washed up, ranked up there at the top of his division. And, don't blame Floyd that he's going after, the top guy, even though it's public opinion that he ain't that great. I mean, what else can he do? I mean, if he was to pick some unknown opponent, people will complain about that. But nah, he picked Cotto, who up there. So, take what you want from that. But I'm out.